Hello, YouTubers. This is another session where we continue our development series in building a OData Neo. It's a reconceptualization of a protocol where not just RESTful APIs, but any systems can communicate with each other, leveraging the standard compliant, OASIS compliant OData protocol. We want to allow expansion. We want to allow transcendence. We want to allow modularization. We want to allow all these great things, in our system. And the last time let's see, we basically stopped at a point where, let me open up OData Neo here real quick. Here we go. Just way too many projects here to take care of. So OData Neo, here we go. All right, let me maximize the font here on my screen. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Let's see where we're at. So, okay, so 150% display, 150% display, here we go. And then let's go back to the screen. There we go. And then let's see here. Okay, let me run all the tests here just to make sure that everything is in good shape. There we go. Hi, Breno.
Hi Hassan,
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
You're new here. I've never seen you before.
It's the first time I missed the time for the old ones.
Hmm. So tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm Hassan. It's nice to meet you. This is the OData Neo Sessions. So tell me where you're from. What do you do? Tell me.
So, hi, my name is Breno. I am from Brazil, and I am a software engineer here, coding some microservices and some things about it.
Okay, you like to build microservices and you're from Brazil. It's nice
Yeah,
to
yeah,
meet you, man. We were looking for someone from South America for a while. It felt a little, we had everybody from everywhere, but I'm so glad you're joining us. Have you been following up with us on the OData Neo sessions and all that? Have you had a chance to kind of look and see what's in there by any chance? Uh-huh.
yeah. I've been getting you guys some watching some videos about the new modularization of the data. It's pretty good. I'm excited to this future.
Okay, all right. All right. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Okay, let's see. So I'm just looking at where we stand in terms of what we have. Do you want to be writing code with us, or do you just want to spectate? What do you think? Breno. Am I saying your name right? Is it Breno? Breno?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
Breno,
Breno. 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 Okay,
Breno,
not Breno.
Breno.
Breno. Okay.
Yeah.
Breno. Breno, you're gonna have to teach me a little bit of, do you speak Portuguese or Spanish? I'm super
Uh,
ignorant. Uh,
no problem. I speak Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Yeah.
Hey Joe, we have a new guy in the club. His name is Breno, and he's from Brazil, and he wants to hang out with us and write code with us. What do you think about that? Do you think that's a
That's cool. How do you feel about getting bashed?
We use bash and we bash the shit out of each other.
Yeah, we use bash heavily here.
So just so you understand, this is on spot. You're gonna be writing code, and they're gonna be like four people kind of parading you as you are writing the code and making fun of every single click you make, every style. If you go and do a little bit of copy paste, they're gonna be like, "What? You don't know how to use Control C, Control V? What's the matter with you?" So just get ready. This is like street rules. You know what I mean? There's no
the si-
rules here. There's
the
no
simplest
HR.
things the simplest things can be the hardest
Yep.
in a place
Yeah.
like this.
Yes, sir. That is very true.
So I
Okay.
think we're judging my implementation today.
Yeah, today we're gonna take Joe for a ride.
Oh, also, I'm only here for a little bit of time. I got a
30
very
minutes.
busy day, so
Okay, Mr. Busy Guy, we got it. You know, you're
it's
important.
not usually like this. It's just one of those days.
Okay, all right. Okay, he needs to get that promo. He's got to look busy for a couple of days. All right, let's see here. So you did a nested FL statements, which gives me the impression, how do I put this nicely? It's garbage. I think garbage is the word. But yeah, let's just see. No, I'm messing around. Let's see what this is
We can
all
always
about.
refactor.
Yeah, we can, yeah, go red, go green, and then refactor. That's the rule, right? What's up, Sam Shoe? So Sam, meet Breno. Breno
Hi,
is a,
Breno.
yeah,
Hi, Sam.
Breno is he's a software engineer from Brazil.
Yeah,
Brazil.
He's
Okay.
cool. Yeah,
yeah.
he's
I
cool.
have already met Sam in the past.
Oh, you met
So
Sam
we
in the
have
past?
Paul from England.
Uh-huh.
We have we have Breno from Brazil.
Yeah, dude, we have people from everywhere. At this point in time, I mean, we are, I don't know, like Joe and Nick are pretty much New York, right?
Yeah, from New York.
And Paul is
I'm
England,
from China.
and Sam is from China, and I'm from the Middle East, so you got them all, you know? We just need one person from Australia and we'll be just fine. And I know exactly the person to reach out to bring from Australia.
Yeah,
So,
OData team has Africa team,
uh-huh.
Kenya, Nairobi. So
Yep,
next time I can invite team member join.
yep, absolutely. Just so you know, Sam, I am half Egyptian. That's in Africa. Sam's looking at me and be like, "No, you're not African." Stop it. Anyway, all right, let's see here. So Joe did a little bit of thing in here. He basically went and said, for each char, please guys, with one-liners, keep them together. Multi-liners, keep them away from each other. So just the visibility, So here's the deal. You iterated over the raw query and you said if it's a separator character, then separate. Great. Else, if the length is better than running thing, yeah, that's a lot of. I love it. Love the. He's literally telling you don't submit this to production. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. So running thing, as long as running thing is bigger than 0, right? You're gonna go and say result add build token from value. So you basically went and said, give me the token value, and I'm gonna get the token type. This guy can be static, by the way. How do you know? If you look at your method, you'll see Visual Studio putting like 3 little dots underneath here. So that tells you that this is a staticable method. So there's that guy. Okay, so you basically went and said build from value, and that's pretty much calling this guy and trying to find what this value means. So do you check? Let's see if you check. So you go and say result.add build token from value.toString. So what is a running thing? You're just your string builder, and you so if it's not empty, you just go and say build token from value with the character. That's the most confusing piece of code I've ever seen.
So
Joe, what happened to you? Why do you do that? And it works, but at least it works, right? It comes
Yeah, it
from the
makes
line
other.
trespass.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sam. What are you saying?
line
Yeah.
37 has a token.
Line 37. Yeah, this is where he goes and says build token from value, right? And he takes the character.
Yeah, the separate. So add
Yeah,
char is a separate.
Yeah, so every time he iterates, he goes and says, "Is this a
And
separator
before
token?"
to add the separate, the John try to add the
The
previous
next, he
token.
keeps appending. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So he's basically saying every time iterate on the character. If it's not a separator token, if it's
Mm.
not a separator token, then go
So
ahead and append it,
continue to
right?
append separate character into the running scene
Right,
until we
right.
hit the separate. We stop the
Yeah,
if and go to the else.
yeah.
I understand the logic. Yes, this is a basic
No,
logic.
yeah, there will be
But
there
if
will be
we have the separate within
within the
the
token.
value,
Mm-hmm.
it
So to
would
make
be
it more readable,
yeah.
remove the else block, 29 and 30 and 38. Nope,
Uh-huh.
leave the actual block inside of it.
Okay, so just take that guy
Just the
out.
else part. Yep.
Uh-huh.
And then inside, right after line 27, hit
Uh-huh.
enter and add continue colon. That'll remove your nesting.
Oh, do you mean continue like this?
Yep.
No. We may as well just start doing go to while we're at it,
I mean, a for
since
each is a go-to anyways. So
right. So hang on. We could think about refactoring in a second, but I'm just
yeah,
trying to understand first what you're trying to do. So yeah, this is actually very straightforward. You're basically going and saying, just to see so you guys understand what Sam is talking about here is a case where you can go and say filter equal and then name equal like this, and in the name you're basically going and saying my name is um in uh,
Hassan white space.
Hassan white space Habib like this.
Yeah.
This is it. So this white space is a separator token, but not in this context. You're on mute, Joe.
we did not add to our test case
No,
the
I
quote
understand
the
that.
quoted part, so we'll have to do that.
Totally understand. What I'm
Mm.
trying to do though here is that I want to set the foundation of doing these checks. So we are adding, you see how we started adding more rules, so it became just very obvious what we're doing. I want to do something similar to that, right? And the checking of these rules, and like Paul was talking a little bit about, using regular expressions, breaking certain patterns, and all that kind of stuff. Let's just see what we can do here. So in here, I can basically go and say, uh, I think if we throw more wrenches at it, people are going to start thinking about, oh, I need to simplify this a little bit. So let me take it from here. So Joe, you were the last one that did the, oh my Lord. Why did you do it this way, man? All
Oh,
right.
I swapped them. I'm sorry.
Here's the deal. You owe me a failing test anyway,
Yep.
right? So fix that commit and then give me a failing test. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we can do
We
something
can
like
do
that.
a mid commit.
Yeah, he can do amend. He can do that.
Will that
Breno,
change?
I like your chair. What's it called? Is that the racer chair?
I don't think it's a international brand. I think
Oh,
it's
it's
only from
local?
Brazil. Yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
no brand.
It's a no brand.
No brand. Yeah.
Let me tell you something funny I read this morning. You know how you see, Sam, you might find this actually really, really interesting. You know how you see a lot of brands that says made in China on the brand, right? That sticker itself is made in Korea.
What? What?
It's
What?
it's it's true. It's made in South Korea.
Oh my goodness.
True story.
I think 99% of the items here that I have, it's made in China. So
Yep.
99 is made in Korea.
Yep. The tickets. Yep. So Joe, now is a great time to share your screen. It's a great time to unmute and
I'm
share
getting
the
set
screen.
up to share. I
Mhm.
wasn't prepped to share today.
See, Breno, we need new blood in the team. These guys are getting a little and Paul just bailed on us. Is that what it is? Paul?
Where's Paul?
We scared him away.
So, T Wordy,
Yeah,
who is?
that's
Who is?
Paul.
That's
That's
Paul. That's
Paul
Paul.
Wordy.
Okay,
That
okay, okay.
that's the guy with the funny accent.
I like it. I like it. English accent. I think it's beautiful. It's.
I think Paul is the native English speaker.
Paul actually, but don't tell him this. He's actually the only one that's speaking proper English. Everyone else is just clowning around.
Yeah.
Like if I sit down with Paul and tell him it's colder than a well digger's knee out there, Paul, and he'll be like, "What? What is that? What did you just say?" You know, it's
Especially
okay.
me. Especially me. My English very very bad.
Oh, there he is. Hi, Paul.
Hey guys, are you
So
trying to
Paul,
English? Slackers. God damn it.
freaking racist.
Bloody
Is that-
hell.
Is that Yasir? Oh no.
So
it's
so
Breno.
so
Hi Breno.
so no,
Welcome
this
to the
is not
party.
Yasser. This is Breno, and he's from Brazil.
Hi Paul.
And
Nice.
he's a new member on the team, so we need to give him the welcome party, as
Oh,
in
in
put him
which
on the
case,
code and make fun of him for 1 hour straight.
yeah, I was gonna say, are you done yet? Come on, you've been here 2 minutes. True Nick style. Hang on a minute, I need to break some code so that you can fix it.
Sounds like a Netflix series.
Sorry, I'm a bit late, guys. I just came out of a meeting with a client, so
No worries.
earliest I could get here.
No worries. We get it. You're important. You have things to do. We get it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
not a problem. Did you fix the commit, son?
Fix
Yeah,
it.
I
man.
think there's a amend.
Did you see what he did, Paul? Look at the commit that he made.
What
There's
did
a
he
commit
do?
checkbox.
Yeah, just amend, brother. Just amend. Click
Yeah.
I
amend.
know. I gotta get the name of the thing. Oh, there it is.
God
Yeah.
damn.
I didn't know it did that part.
I was
See,
say, what does
Breno?
that amend do? I don't think I've ever used it.
It amends.
It amends. Oh, okay, cool.
We pass, right? Just
Yeah, pass and do a thin arrow. Pass, not pass. Pass. Pass.
I'm getting there, man.
God
There we
damn.
go. Is this satisfactory?
Yeah. Now how
Just
are you
can't
how
get
are
the
you gonna
stuff.
commit it?
I don't know. You hit amend, and
And
I
then
guess
what?
you have a change.
You need to have a change of some kind.
I don't want that.
Okay, do it your way.
Close.
Apply my changes that I
Yeah,
haven't
let's
told you about.
let's spend the session working
Yeah.
with Joe on get commands.
I just don't get into it that much. Like it's just I do my thing, and
You just move on. You
Yeah.
gotta move on.
Has Hassan not asked you yet, Joe? Do you know Git? Because he did that to me one week.
It's kind of a mandatory out of the box, you know.
I just don't do anything like more technical than committing day to day.
All right. Okay, Sam, we're gonna have to make the bar a little bit higher. People- Let me just check real quick. Breno, do you know GitHub?
Yeah, I know. Get that.
Have you ever
Hassan's
seen
team.
C# before?
C Sharp Visual
Uh,
Studio and shit.
C#, it's like it's that thing they call Delphi.
Delphi. Oh,
Delphi,
Delphi. Oh,
Hmm.
wow. Bro, you've been around for a while. Breno, how old
Yeah,
are you? How
I'm
old are you?
27.
No, you're
But
not.
yeah,
You're
but
21.
I start to code in a company about 16 years old. Yeah.
Nice.
Hmm.
Oh my lord, this guy right here. All right, I guess
There.
we found someone, and we'll just sit here like a bunch of tired old mules and just watch you roll over, just steamroll over everybody. I hope Paul
I'm
understands
up
what
for
I'm
that.
saying. Halfway, he's just like, I don't know.
I'm far too old to be continuing writing code. I'm going,
Mm.
going senile in my old age. So
Look,
I've-
look what he's doing. He's just
I don't know
writing.
what I'm doing.
Yeah, at this point in time, Sam, can you please pull his code and fix it for him? Do you mind?
Let
Fix
me
the commit
try.
history.
Yeah.
This is one of these moments where you realize, okay, just stop touching things. Joe. Just stop it. Let's just have Sam share his screen, and then his network is gonna drop off halfway, and I'm just gonna end up doing it.
Yeah.
Sensei.
Keep breaking it, guys. It's fun watching Hassan unpick the mess.
It always end up being me, man. You know, I'll tell you something I usually do. Like when I join new teams, I just tell them, "Hey guys, let me be the janitor. Let me clean up shit." You know, and you guys do your thing, and I'll just be cleaning up, as I go until I catch up to you to whatever business you're doing. And by the time I catch up to you, everything has already been written and it's ready to be maintained and all that. All right, let's go, Sam. You can do it.
Do you know, I did that recently. I joined a company and I did exactly that, and they didn't understand what I did. I had
Yep.
to spend 2 weeks explaining a one-line
Yep.
code change to people.
Yep. Yep.
It was nuts.
It's one way you can basically get yourself familiarized with the code base and the business, but also at the same time you're just kind of cleaning up. You're as you go, you'll be like, okay, this is not right, this is not proper, let me rewrite this piece. It's a very, very effective strategy. And while we're talking about strategies, how are you doing, Sam?
Hmm?
Hi.
Hi, I'm working.
You're working?
Have you got Visual Studio installed this week, Sam?
Do you know do you know how to use Visual Studio, Sam?
No, I don't use it.
I will defend Sam. I will defend Sam. I like very much of his code. I like very much.
You like Sam's code?
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's outsourcing it. He doesn't write
Typically,
shit.
I use
Can I just outsource my job?
Hassan's mean. Is me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you've met Hassan. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There you are. Welcome aboard. You found me.
In
There I
a
am.
in a,
Means his middle name.
in a past meeting with Hassan a few months ago, he was not too mean. He
No.
was more kind.
That
Yeah.
wasn't Hassan. That was
That
somebody
wasn't
else
that
pretending
wasn't
to
me.
be
That
him.
was that was that was a deep fake.
Deep fake.
Some of the folks that worked with me in the past on projects, they can tell, like these folks, they tell me we don't need to know, if something is deep fake with another technology. We can tell immediately if it's you or not. Just at the first 20 minutes, I can tell you this is Hassan or not. It's very simple. Just see if he's just gonna stab you in the heart with a comment. Anyway, no, I love you all. I'm just kind of, kind of
10
cheering up
minutes in
the.
a meeting with Hassan, you need a shower.
All right, any
If you
second
get to
now,
the
Sam.
15th minute
Whenever
and
you're
that hasn't
ready.
happened, it's not him.
Okay. All right. How are we doing, Sam? Do I take it? Do you want me to take that test?
oh, it's very bad.
It's
Oh,
very
where did
bad.
we get to? Where did we
But
get to? Bring me up to speed.
we're at the point where we're actually scanning and tokenizing a mixed query. Like we're not taking just
Right.
one token. Now we're doing, and poor Joe, he ended up doing the work of it,
I thought we planned the next session we were going to have some sort of algorithmic discussion, right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to get the code into a stable state. The commit history looks like shit. I
There's
need
no
to fix
such
that.
thing. This is a
Yeah.
Microsoft product. They don't do stable. Sorry.
Not until I joined. All right. Sam, you're fixing the problem, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix the problem. So you
But
want to make the history a straight line?
yeah, but do you mind sharing so people can see what you're doing?
Let me try.
Never.
Look, Joe
A
just
magician
decided to
never
go
reveals his tricks.
clean up something. What are you doing? Joe, come here. We're in a pairing session.
My cat brought a bird inside, so
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
cleaning up some feathers so that my dogs don't eat it.
Yep. That's their way of saying, look, here's a gift to you.
Yeah, I
Yep.
appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. All right. Here we go, Sam. All right. While Sam is trying to fix this, I could jump over to the algorithmic discussion. What do you think about that? Breno, do you want to jump in an algorithmic discussion with us? Let's see.
Can you see my
Sure.
screen?
I was searching here. What
Yeah.
kind of output we are looking for here for this tokenization? Because there's so many ways to break this URL with these tokens, and we are trying to do this um raw raw
Yeah.
raw.
Like raw token. Paul, do you
No,
want to
no.
ex
Please, please continue.
Paul, do you want to explain to Breno what we're doing?
Yeah, sure. So fundamentally, at a basic level, what we've got is essentially what should represent or be representative of is the query string on a URL. Now, some of that query may or may not fit the OData standard. We're hoping that the bulk of it will. But essentially, the first stage in the process is to take that string and break it down in a process that we refer to as tokenization. So this is the work that Alexa would do pre-compilation process, essentially. So what we're trying to do is identify what essentially from a programmable point of view are the component parts that make up our query that's been asked of our endpoint, so that we can then process that in a future block of code. I think that's a pretty
What do you think,
basic
Breno?
summary.
Does that sound like a
Yeah,
good
understood.
summary?
And that's why the standard or the existing algorithms that does not fit, because they are just getting, not the validation and throwing the problems.
Right, right. So we want to
And
go. Go ahead, go ahead.
just asking, how is done on OData today?
Sam, do you want to answer that one?
What's the question?
The question is, how do we do this in OData today? How do we process the tokenization in OData today?
So just for the tokenization, so we take the raw string,
Yeah.
and we have a lecture. We start from the first character and to identify what the character is. If it's a lot of characters, so if it's open parenthesis, it starts to just return a token for the open parenthesis. If it's it's a white space, we can ignore the white space. If it's a colon, we return a token for the colon. And if it's a valid character, we will start try to the next character until we meet the next I will share the code later.
Yeah, yeah.
If when we meet a separate character, we retrieve the character from start and the end of the position of the separator,
Yeah.
and to try to pass the string. If it's maybe it could be an integer, it could be a guild, it could be a datetime value, something like this, and we will return the correct literal. Otherwise, we will return its identifier. It could be a keyword. For example, name. Name is a keyword. It's not a value, because value for a string value we should have a single quote.
Yeah, yeah. So
go ahead.
Please continue, Sam.
Yeah. So if we meet single quote or double quote or any others, we have a pair. For example, open parenthesis and end parenthesis, or the curly braces on the curly braces. For example, if it's a single quarter, we try to find the next single quarter. It's a wrap. Okay, it's a group. Okay, so until we hit the next single quarter, we put everything together between the single quote, and we think it's a string and return a string literal. So it's a try pass. It means we start from the first character and repeat the process until we finish the end of the string.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is a lecture, and based on the lecture, we
Okay.
have the like thematic analyzer. It
Hmm.
means to understand the token. Okay. After that, we have the parser based on the token. We try understand based token and return the abstract tree structure. So that's that's called the thematic parser. I will share the whole code later. So continue your discussion. Let me fix the git issue.
Yeah, fix
Yeah,
fix Joe's stuff, and then so Breno, just to understand, we try to categorize the tokens into, some value tokens. There's separator tokens, and then there is an operator token. So an operator token is something like a filter, $sign filter,
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that.
We don't have
EQ.
this middle component because the way the data does this today, it's directly to expression.
It automatically tries to convert it to an expression, and we're breaking it apart into very smaller pieces. So there's tokenization, and then there's O node state, and then out of O node there is the expression, factory, where it actually turns that into a factory. And it's all modular and all that. So anyway, here's the state of the unicorn, right? Where are we today? This is a query that's coming in. Ideally, the end goal is supposed to look like this, but the query comes in more like this. So let me show you here. It looks something like this. Check this out. So I'm going to take this guy here. This is your query that's coming in, and I try to visualize as much as I can so people just can see how we're thinking. We come from all different backgrounds. If I just use my words, I might miss something that might kind of ring a bell to you. So imagine this query is coming like this. It's like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, and then like this, and then you have the N A wow, the exact perfect count. I can't believe it. So so ideally the input looks like this, and we want to go and say, oh, this whole piece here is a token. This guy here is a token. And this guy here is a token. And then this guy here is a completely separate token. The difference between them is that this is a separator token, this is a value token, and this is an operator token. So it's that exact same output as this. This is at a high level. Let me give this a different color that's a little bit more distinct. Yeah, something like this. So do you see now? This is basically our goal. We are getting a query coming in, and we're trying to parse and stop where we deem, that, a particular, entity is coming in. This is just the tokenization piece. Does that make sense? Is that clear? I hope that
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah,
perfect.
So
for this part, let me share some code for all of you, so maybe it's clear. So, but before that,
go ahead, see.
So here's
Uh-huh.
the history, right? That's what you want, right?
Let's see. Yep, there you go. Yep,
Okay.
thank you so much, Joe.
Uh,
Look, he fixed it for you.
yeah. Let me
Go ahead and
stop
share
this
your
sharing.
data. Your data, sorry. What data?
I'll have to have Sam show me some of his tricks.
Dude,
Later.
amending is just like, okay,
I just don't do it.
okay, that's
Guy's a
okay.
git wizard.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
So here called OData query. So it's a separate issue that project that I retrieve the code from current OData library and merge them together. It's the same just for all of your
Mm-hmm.
reference. So
Mm-hmm.
here's a tokenizer.
Mm-hmm.
So also we have where's it? Yeah. So so we have a expression lecture.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just take a raw string And this is the interface. It's just to return current token, and you can call next.
It's iterating one by one.
It's
Yeah.
So here's the default implementation for express Alexa. So here's a where is it? Next, just call next token implementation. So next in token implementation is just like the if the current character is open parentheses, okay, so we pass open parentheses, something like this. It's and we just return, or it's an end close. We skip the character, okay. So because from the token kind, we understand it's a close parenthesis. There's no reason for us to save the end parenthesis character, okay.
That's right.
It's the same thing for the comma, equal, and the slash, question, dot, star, a lot of things. Here's an example for a single quarter. If it's a single quarter, we will try to find the next single quarter. Okay, so this is a complex logic. So because within the single quarter string, it can have another single quarter. But this single quarter, it could be the value, part of the value is not the singular for the wrap. Okay, so there's a logic to do something.
Yep.
So if it's a single quarter, we finish with this string literal, and if it's a curly brace, so we try to wrap them. So using this one, and it's this.
Oh, you could use curly braces in OData?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, that's a lot of here. Just expression lecture. Just try to understand the string. There's no reason. There's no
use case
relationship about the OData. It's just syntax.
Yeah, it's just syntactically trying to understand. Yeah, I got you.
Otherwise, if it's any other things, we try to do something like if it's white space, we skip the white space. If it's identifier, so we try to pass it as identifier. It could be a token. If it's a token, if it's a good, we return good literal. If otherwise, return identifier. Otherwise, it could be a digital. So we pass as a digital, something like this. Otherwise, it could be an add starting. Add starting is using for the annotation or for the parameter alias. So we return the add, something like this. By the way, at the end of the next, we just save the information to the token and then return the token.
Yep.
So the token itself, expression token itself is simple. Just what's the kind of the token, and what's the text for this token, and it is a position.
The token and the value of it and the kind of it. Yep.
Yeah. So this part used in the let me do an example. It could be used in the filter path, search path, everything audit query path. So here's the example for the search tokenize. Search tokenize based on the search lecture. A search lecture is just like expression lecture, okay? Because search lecture has a different meaning for the character.
Right.
We override the next token implementation and to do something. So search tokenize using the search lecture, and it go pass expression and do like this one, blah blah blah, and return the query token. So here is a test, I think.
Okay.
So this is a search $search. It's a $search like this one.
Okay.
So it's very complex. So you can see add or is a keyword for search, and A, B, C, or D, F are the
whatever
value.
the Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and we have the parentheses, open parentheses, and the end close parentheses. And meanwhile, there's a procedure for the keyword. So
Uh-huh.
OR is a low procedure, and add is a little bit high procedure than the OR.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put in the parentheses, you change the procedure, the priority. Okay. Um. So it's a little bit complex, and we should.
Just
I don't
simplifying
think
it.
we can repeat that, but
Mm-hmm.
currently our audited neo tokenize is just basic. But
Mm-hmm.
if we want to support the whole syntax of the audit, we need a lecturer to do the similar thing,
Yep.
and maybe we can reference the code from the current audit implementation. Yeah, it's
Certainly.
all the code. Sorry for my bad English.
No,
Go
you're
on.
fine. I can understand you, Sam. You're fine. You guys can understand Sam. Don't
Yeah,
feel bad about
definitely.
your English. By the way,
Yeah,
just
for
just
sure.
so- just so you understand, a lot of us here don't speak English natively either. Paul, for instance, who knows what language this guy speaks. So don't worry about that. We're
I
fine.
get berated for my lack of Americanish all the time.
You mean lack of proper English, Paul? Is that what you mean?
What
So so anyway,
what the hell is proper?
don't
Proper? Proper?
don't don't worry about the language. So okay, so listen, I'm gonna go back to this guy, right? So Sam, something very similar to that, but we want it to be a little bit simplistic,
Mm.
right? Exactly the same ideas, exactly the same mindset, but not just simplistic, it needs to be extendable, right? It's extensible. We want to allow people to go and say, I want to add a new rule, and it should be very straightforward in terms of add, just like how the team was adding new rules for tokens. I want it to be just as simple as that, right? So here's the deal, you guys. Let's talk algorithms, right? And Sam, I'm gonna need your support on this because this is how we're gonna, ideally, what I hear a lot of you are saying is that we're scanning the array of characters that's coming in until we either construct what equates a token or continue to search until you hit, a point where you have actually collected what equates a token. Except that there are scenarios where you just can't go and say, "Oh, I found a single quote," right? And that single quote is a token, and I need to continue from there until I find the next thing. Now, here's a question to you. In this stage that we're in, it doesn't matter. We just want to pick up a separator again. Like I said, earlier, you have either operator tokens, separator tokens, or value tokens. There's nothing else out there. If you really break them down, this is what it comes down to. You're either working with an operator token or a separator token or a value token. There's nothing else that you can run into that is not one of these things. And we consider because at the so let me just define these properly, right? When I say an operator token, I'm talking about a token that is more than one character but constructs a value that means something in OData, like $ select, $compute, whatever. That's an operator. You can call it a clause, you can call it a you can call it whatever you want to call it, an operation token, right? A separator would be something like equal, like the open parents, close parentheses, comma. We can use commas, right? Right, Sam? Yeah, we can because of the select commas, stuff like that. What's the characteristic of a separator token? It's almost always a one character, right? Almost always one character. And then you have a value token, which is like name. This here is a value token, right? If you say if you say a quote, a single quote, that's a separator token, and then SAM becomes a value token, and then another quote that becomes a separator token. What do you guys think about that? Do we agree on that part at least? Because
Uh,
go ahead, go ahead.
uh, there is some possible that separator is not an equal? There's
Yeah,
some case.
it can be a separator token can be something like open parentheses, close parentheses. It can be something like
Yeah, inside the value, but on the formation of the token, it can be something different than equal.
like what?
So filter
Space.
equal, selective equal, search equal. In this kind of yes, I agree. Separator in the value can be with parentheses, can be with the quotes, can
See
be.
that? Yeah, that part that you just talked about. This guy right here. So there is a situation where you have to go and say this. Check this out. If you go and do this, here's a scenario for you. We want to go, this is where the challenge is, right? We want to go and say, okay, this is not select, this is a filter like this. If I T E R filter, right, equals, and then it has name, and then it has a new operator token, and this new operator token is EQ, right? And then you have a new value token, and then another separator token that you have in here, which is this guy. That will be the single quote, like this. And then you have Sam,
You
which
need your
is base.
spaces as Sam.
Huh? Oh, the spaces? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Good point.
Are you basically saying that our token types should fall into one of these three types? So we have
Must. Otherwise, you will end up going in circles, and you won't be able to kind of standardize your tokenization work. Let me just
always.
always.
Always. Okay.
So back to this and then this. So this here is the case that imagine if Sam, the value that's in here is actually something like this. This guy here and this guy are the same. We want somehow to tell our tokenization service, oh, be careful. This EQ that's here is not like the EQ that's here. I'm going to take this guy out completely just to kind of visualize what I'm trying to say.
You also need another space between name and EQ.
That's right.
Because you won't be able to tell those apart.
Yep. That's right. Absolutely. I'm just trying to, as much as I can, to kind of talk and visualize at the same time. But there you go. There it is. So ideally, the outcome of this should look like this. And I'm sorry if you're, if one of you is color blind, let me know if you can't see the colors. I will fix the colors for you. Accessibility forever, right? So the outcome would look something like this, equal like this, and then it would go and say, okay, well, this is name, and this is a filter, right? And then in here, I want to go and say, okay, here's another token that I have, which is an empty space that will go in here. This is the after effect, the after effort. And then I want an EQ, which is this guy. That's an operator token. And then after that, I want another space like this. And then I want a comma, a single quote. Sorry, single quote like this. And then I want the EQ guy like here. This is the trick. And then the last thing is the closing. So this is the expected outcome out of this. So we'll get this as an input. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So in this part, I'd like to merge single quote EQ, single quote as a one part. So otherwise, you cannot distinguish between. Because the single quote EQ, single quote is one part. It means it's a string value. It's a string literal. Okay. So in this part, you can understand the logic.
Okay.
Otherwise, you cannot distinguish the EQ, the first one EQ and the second EQ.
All right.
Would you say the same for a string wrapped in double quotes?
So single quote is the part of the value. It means it uses that to wrap the value as a string.
I see.
So the problem that we've hit here is, are we just parsing URL strings, or are we specifically parsing OData strings? Because there is there's a standards difference, right? If we're just writing something that can only expect OData, then straight away we can restrict ourselves to the ASCII character space.
Okay.
And then off the back of that, we can then say, okay, but only these conventions apply because these are the only things that are included in the spec. Right?
Okay,
Whereas,
I do agree with that. So you want to separate that one to support other aspect. Okay. But the part is
my thinking was, Sam, that what we support at this stage is just parsing something that came from a URL. Further down the line, the conventions logic should decide whether or not it's valid, because whatever it is, the OData processor logic decides, okay, I'm only going to accept OData stuff. And anything else that's in that query, I'm going to ignore. But the stuff that's also in that query that's not OData could be processed by some kind of bolt-on to our framework. And this is what I have been trying to sort of say from the get-go, is that there is a bigger character space in, for example, UTF-8 or UTF-16, which is used by the underlying .NET framework. When the guys were finding infinity symbols were a thing, you could validly stick one of those into a URL.
It's still going to be,
Yeah, or you could have a console app that generates one of those for some reason, passes it to our library.
I just to share my experience from OData part. So if you put a single quarter, if it's okay to separate them to different token, it's okay. So, but in the parse, OData parcel, you should, if you meet a single quarter, you have to understand the next one. So, so it could be a problem. But if we make the logic, the implementation good, I do like it. And another part is, if the equal another single quarter. Okay.
Sorry. It's glitching.
Yeah. Sam's internet. He's at the Microsoft headquarters. The kind of internet Sam's getting. Go ahead,
he routes
Sam.
his connection through Dubai.
Today
We've already established this.
We
I
lost
do
you.
have a quick question.
Go ahead.
With this conversation, where do we want to go next? I mean, we still have to make a test case. And
No. Yeah, I know, and you need to write that test case because fail, pass, but that's not the point.
Okay.
What Sam is trying. Go ahead.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say, okay, Sam is clearly saying, hey, we should be working within the OData spec, which is perfectly valid. But are we working within the OData spec throughout, or are we saying there's some general stuff here wrapped around the OData stuff?
So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm leaning towards is that I think the tokenization service should not care whether you're within OData or not. It might have a hint of.
My thoughts exactly.
Yeah. Why is that? Listen, you guys, I'm trying to build rewritable, reusable software. I want someone to come at some point in time and says, I can steal that tokenization service that these guys built, and I can go build my entirely new, protocol. In fact, I actually want this tokenization service to allow people to think beyond OData and say, what else can I do? Like here's the deal, Sam, just from my perspective. If I come at some point in time and I want to enforce a protocol, right? And this protocol says this single quote, right, is going to be followed by something else, close single quote, and it's going to mean something completely different than just the string literal. In this case, see, when I was talking to Mads Torgerson, he said to me, the idea about building software is to build something that your mind can't comprehend the possibilities of it. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build a service that we can't come up with enough examples to comprehend what people are going to do with it. Just like the people that do speed runs on Elden Rings and video games, the developers had to roll out a patch to slow down speedrunners because they're ruining the game for everyone, right?
Yeah,
so
actually, I want to share. I agree with that. Okay, so we can move on, but I want to raise the problem, the potential problem. So in this case, if you put another single quarter after equal, so in the OData, it's valid. So for example, the last you input another single quote.
Like in here, Sam, like EQ single quote
Yeah,
like
you
this.
go up in the line.
Yeah, in here.
Yeah, so add another single quarter before the end of the single quarter.
Before the end, like in
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay, let me do this. Like this.
Single quarter.
Like this.
Add another slash.
Another slash?
Yeah, slash. So because the single quote in the single quote should escaped. Okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying it's a single quote.
Slash. No,
Mhm.
just a single character slash, and another
Uh-huh.
character is a single quarter.
Are you talking
Mhm.
Because in
forward
the
or back?
URL is a different. It's a two characters. But in the computer side, it's one character slash single quote. But
It's an escape character.
It's
yes,
escape.
character.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
one character for slash, one character for the single quote, another single quote, another character for the single quote. Okay.
It's two
Person-
characters, Hassan. The slash is one
put the
character.
slash after
Wait a
Q,
second.
Like this, and then another
after
single
Q.
after Q. Okay.
Yeah.
So slash here.
Slash.
Okay.
After slash as a single quarter,
Yeah.
Yeah.
then another single quarter.
Like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're
Because this
saying.
is the URL representative for the escaped
Right.
using the slash single quote. But
Right.
okay.
But
in
this-
this
but
case,
this-
the value itself
please.
is equal single quarter. And using single quote.
Did we even consider, like, I don't know if we consider, again, let's stay back to the rule.
Yeah.
Is this slash, do you want to consider this slash independently as a separator or operator or value token?
It's
Because
a
it's gonna
value.
have
The
to,
slash
in this
single quote,
context, it's the value. Yes. Yes.
yeah,
But this
in the
should-
slash single quote is a value for single quarter in the string. Slash single quote two character is one single quarter in the string because the single quote is escaped
No, I
in
get
the
it.
single
I get
quarter.
you. I get you.
Cool.
You
I
know,
have
you
to
know,
hop
value
off.
type is
Sorry,
only
guys.
three characters.
take care, Joe. Go
Three
ahead.
characters.
Go ahead, Sam. Go ahead.
The value for the value is three characters, but from the URL it says 4 characters
Right.
because it's a single quote escaped in the single quote wrapped value.
No,
Right, because
get,
it's in a URL. If you have a
Yeah,
percentage
it's in a
20,
URL.
you interpret that as a
I get
single
it.
space.
I get it.
Okay,
But
yeah, so this is a special case. So it's a valid case. So if we want to design tokenize,
I'm with you.
yeah, so we should take all into consideration. But currently, maybe we can skip that. We can move on to the.
No, Sam, you're right. I think you're just maybe a little bit jumping ahead because you implemented this before. So in your mind, you're saying, oh, if we break it here, I know down the road I'm gonna pick up that literal and do something with it. Totally understand. You know, I think that's what's gonna happen in the O token service. What you just said. We're gonna go in the O token service and says, oh, let's make sense out of this. Breno wanted to say something. Let's wrap up. Let's have Breno say the last thing, and then we will catch up the rest of this on Wednesday. Go ahead, Breno.
Perfect. So this shouldn't be responsible for the Lexer group. So if I have this kind of situation of my Lexer group, so token service should have a list of Lexers, of responsible Lexers for each kind of type of group token group that will be take this value and then parse. So we have to break this thing. If we always search this string as is it and take item by item, we have no end of possibilities to fix to close. But we can break this into groups, and then the groups have an implementation of what kind of parse they will do with the value. We can leverage leverage the developer to implement another Lexer.
Yep. That's what I want to
parse this value. So we don't have to cover all the values possibility, but we can the standard
Absolutely
values
100%. Hmm.
and leave the interface open for parse these values, but we have to close into groups because it's so hard if we didn't this with
I agree with you 100%. Paul,
I
any
think there's a key point there is there's a difference between your lexer and your parser, right?
Yes, different.
Your parser needs some understanding of language. Your lexer's just saying, hey, I'm breaking this stuff up. Something
Yeah.
else is going to parse it.
perfect,
And I
perfect.
think we just need to recognize the limits there. And yeah, the thing for me was you've got a URL, right? In
Yep.
principle. So anything you can possibly imagine that you might stick in a URL, assume it's going to be in there.
Yep.
And hey, as long as we handle it in some way, shape, or form, doesn't matter what the output is, because there's going to be plenty of stuff that's going to follow it. That's going to figure out whether or not it's valid OData, valid something else, valid something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Hassan, can you
Go
share
ahead.
your screen again?
Yep. 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 Uh-huh. Go ahead, Sam.
Just to amend. So put a single quote for into the equal in the red cut low down.
Down here.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, you mean like this?
yeah. No, no slash.
Oh, just like this. Yep.
Yeah, so it's because the slash single quote in the URL is
Yep.
a
Yep.
kept. Okay,
Yep.
so
Yep.
I'll
Yep.
try to make sure you understand the logic.
Yep, yep, absolutely. The only thing, I just want to let you understand something, Sam. We're like walking this dark, long cave, and you're the one holding the torch in the front because you've been there, right? The only thing that we're saying here is that we're saying, hey, look, there's another path. Should we explore this? And you can
Yeah,
go and say, no, I went there before. There's snakes in here. It's gonna kill all of us. Let's not go that route, right? This is a lot of Lord of the Rings kind of thing from, just giving Paul here a little something relevant that he can relate to. But
That's a
but
New
anyway,
Zealand reference. That's nothing to do with me. Complete opposite side of the planet, mate.
looks the
yeah.
same to
So
me. But
I do want to.
go ahead, Sam. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I try to with I don't want to build the new of the old data implementation. I want to build a new, totally new, for the community to use. So I'm here just to share my experience from audit part, and just for your reference. If
Hmm.
it's valuable to use in the audit new, let's take it.
Hmm. 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 Let's pick this up because we're really running out of time. But I appreciate you all. Thank you all so much. Let's pick this up on Wednesday, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hey, Breno, welcome to the group. Come over again. We meet 3 days a week. Around 9 p.m. 9 a.m. PST, which Paul likes. This is exactly what Paul wants for timing for his. Anyway, thank you all so much. I appreciate you all. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.